moment I was born, I was a criminal by the virtue of my gender. How many more men have to lose their lives, lose their houses, lose their liberties, lose access to their children before people like Miss Flavia will have the slightest bit of acknowledgement of the pain and suffering that they go through? The Supreme Court says today, oh, women sometimes nowadays are misusing the law. What about the 100 other cases decided by the Supreme Court today in which the Supreme Court refused to entertain any quashing petition filed by any of the 15 or 20 other relatives of the husband who've all been accused of dowry harassment? Flavia Madam says, oh, dowry, 498A, I don't really agree with, but it is still important. I don't really, think it's the greatest, but we should still have it because women in the past have suffered. And even if you look now, it's a problem. Very easily choosing to ignore completely the blatant way wives are allowed to file completely atrocious false allegations for them to get benefit out of it. And when someone says, what's the problem? I say, as a practitioner of law, dealing with thousands and thousands of these cases, it's one thing to say that a woman who's a victim, she should not be asked for concrete proof on day one, sure. But why is it, I pray ask, is it that a man, be a husband, a boyfriend, a common man on the street, he has concrete proof in his hands, yet he is told by the judge, by the police, we don't care what proof you produce before us. The moment a woman puts a finger on you, you are now a criminal. You now should go to jail. You should now go through years of one, the possibility of going to jail, pay
Right.
money to your wife,
Right.
just go through everything. Why? This man, 3 years, is facing allegations such as attempt to murder, unnatural sex, and for us to say, oh, we don't know whether these were true or not. Did the lady go through a medical legal checkup before putting these allegations? She filed multiple cases, withdrew half of them, and it's very easy for them to say, oh, the lawyers are a problem. I'm here,
Right.
I'm a lawyer, I'm trying my best to
So, Amish,
represent my clients, but
right.
yet nothing is happening, right? What about the police? What about
Okay.
the other stakeholders?
Okay.
Domestic Violence Act conveniently passed saying, oh,
Yes,
protect
we'll-
women. How many men have lost their houses to a wife with whom they have spent maybe 5 days, 10 days in matrimony? And now she says, this
No, but
house
Amish, you can't
belongs
really
to me.
generalize. I'm sorry, but you can't really generalize that all women must be doing so. It is, of course, law, like Flavio was mentioning, that laws are misused everywhere. But to actually just point it out to one gender is rather unfair. So I'm asking you, when you say that there are not enough legal provisions for men,
I am
in
not saying
2020, the Supreme Court, in 2020, the Supreme Court set guidelines. Hear me out. Hear me out. In 2020, the Supreme Court set down guidelines in the Rajneesh versus Neha verdict, and it called for uniformity and consistency in granting maintenance and alimony. So, of course, the Supreme Court has taken cognizance in previous instances as well. But I'm asking you, what more needs to be done? Because there is a chorus that is building up so far as championing men's rights is concerned.
Supreme Court has been taking initiative since time immemorial. 2014, Arnesh Kumar judgment Supreme Court says we are seeing husbands and